Hey, this is Paul Pettifer. We're standing on Louisiana Avenue, a few houses down from where this past Sunday a violent murder took place, where something that God meant for beautiful, which was relationships, boy-girl relationships. God put that in our heart to desire each other, and that's a good thing. Where there was a boy-girl relationship, but it didn't go well because there's people trying to, I think, replace the love that we need from God and try to extract that from another person, and that's never going to fulfill us. And anyway, a boy-girl relationship turned terrible, and actually the girl's brothers apparently murdered a young man named Baptiste, and they're actually burying his family, is burying him right now with a memorial service at King's Funeral Home. And so my friend Braylon and I are here, and what we want to do is just tell a different story, that the brokenness that's so visible in our world, 3 murders last weekend, that the brokenness that comes out of our lives and we get our loves out of order and try to ask other things or other people to do what only God can do, that story ends up with people's lives being burnt to the ground. And sometimes it's really visible in public, like a murder, and it's on the news and it's on the paper and it's on everyone's heart. And sometimes it's just really private. You end up with a life that feels alone and cold and depressed and with addictions or anxiety and no joy. But all those things that burn to the ground, right, that's not the end of the story. God's got a bigger plan for his story. And what it does is bring life where only death lived. And so Braylon and I are out here, and in a moment I think Miss Teresa Schmidt from KPLC might join us. And we just want to be one of the voices of all the voices of the people who felt the love that comes from God, and be an agent or agents for mobilizing this love of God to be visible, right? And kind of like my genre is the city should be different, that because there are Jesus followers in this city and churches full of Jesus followers, that it should be obvious that there's something going down that's bigger, and this story of God that just possesses our lives, right? Leads us to live an outward life so that those who are bound up in just all kind of trouble that comes from this, like so evident with this family, can see and touch and feel and have a legitimate shot at seeing who Jesus really is through love and expression. And Braylon, Jesus is enough. And it's so hard for us to remember that, even as people who follow him. The people who don't know him yet, they're not sure what we're talking about, but everything in this world is going to end up in trouble unless it finds hope in him. And I'm grateful for you and your passion to see your life invested in what matters the very most.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have to understand that we've got to make this thing contagious. It is contagious, but we've got to rub up against people. We've got to share it with people. We've got to allow people to experience it. And that's one of the things that I think we have an issue with. We like to quarantine ourselves. We've got it. But we can't quarantine. We've got to be able to get out and rub shoulders with people, love on people, share it with people. Because the love of Christ, if you get close enough to it, and if you experience enough of it, you'll catch it.
No strings, no catch, just love. The city should be different.